Hey barbarians, what's up? Thank you for passing by. My name is Phil. I am from Mensa Drops, and today I had the chance to talk to Alienz. Amazing project. He's doing a double mint next week. Art is bonanza. The way he creates is absolutely one of one. Phenomenal. Check it out. Alienz, thank you so much for taking the time. Thank you for passing by today to the show. It's nice to see you. What's up?
Oh, hey, what's up, man? Yeah, it's nice to see you. I love everything you're doing for the HBAR community,
Hey.
and it's always cool to see people in real person, if you will. So nice to meet you, man.
Hey, it's true, man. It's been a long time coming now since we tried to get a hookup to one another, but it's a pleasure to have you on the show today.
Oh, thank you.
How you doing?
I'm good, dude. I'm getting ready to get started. I'm a high school teacher, so I'm sitting here in my classroom, and this is like what we call the calm before the storm for before all my high schoolers start rolling in. And yeah, man, it's nice. It's nice to sit down here and start my day like this.
Of course, I want to talk to you about your project and how you approach everything, because you've taken the ecosystem by the storm, right? In my opinion, right? Man, when did you start? Like three months ago, out on the H? When?
Yeah, here. Let me throw my headphones on so that you're not
sure.
getting any like feedback from my speakers here.
Yeah.
Basically, I started in 3 months or so ago, and I've been in the NFT space for coming up on a year now. So December is when I first started creating NFTs and really viewing myself as an NFT artist. So I went through a couple different iterations, and basically was when I dove heavy into AI, I started working on my new big collection, and I was looking for a smaller chain to launch it on because OpenSea is just there's just so much art there. It's really hard to be seen.
Crazy.
So
Yeah.
I basically met Patches in a late night space over the summer, and was just blown away by the community on HBAR, and just really nice guy. He actually helped me mint my first HBAR NFT, and from there I just kind of went down the rabbit hole of figuring out how to mint myself, and it's the best decision I could have ever made for my project, is coming over to HBAR.
Yeah, for sure, no doubt, man. Shout out to Patches, man. You've encountered one of the goats right off the bat.
It was just pure luck,
You create your own luck, man, and here you are, man. Because really, truthfully, your art, really stroke in a precise way where people instantly figured out that this was your branding, this was your identity as an artist. Yeah, it was crazy. Even out on secondary sales, it was crazy. And I gotta say it, I hold 3 pieces, and we're gonna talk it later on. But your samurais, man, they're
all right, cool. Yeah, I'm excited for it, man. Yeah, I'm really excited. It's been a lot of work that's gone over the last 6 months of this project, and yeah, I'll talk a little bit more about that process as we get into the interview a little bit.
It's absolutely crazy, man, and it's always fun, to have that kind of surprise, and that's why I always preach, greeting the new people and the new arrivants, that comes into our space, because look what came in. You're already a force to be reckoned with, on the H, and that's super interesting, and especially through the very angle that you're doing with AI. Man, it's strong. You see right away. Unexplicable. You see it right away, and you see it's strong. It's concise. It's very precise. It's the direct line of what you want to make. Man, yeah, nothing but respect.
Oh, thank you so much, man. Thank you.
It's true. I wanted to talk about a little bit about your art creation process. I know AI has been getting lots of traction in the last say 6 months or so, even 2 months, especially out on the H. How do you do, man?
That's so my workflow is a little bit weird, to be honest, and it's something that I always try to lock into as an artist. Is I feel like to create something thematically kind of tied together, and kind of my goal my whole time when creating this collection is I want people to see one of my pieces and just automatically know, like, okay, that's Alienz. So I've worked really hard to kind of create a style for my AI art, and I'm what I call an assisted AI artist. So I create all my base work in DALL-E 2, and I'll basically prompt things that are kind of stylistically driven, or I call myself a concept artist. So basically, from the very beginning, I had this really weird concept of aliens that had come and taken over the Earth. So like they basically kill off all the humans, and then they inhabit the human cities, and then they kind of get into all the different human pop culture and way of life that humans live. So that was like originally the concept behind it. So I over iterate things in Dolly 2 is what I would say. So I'll run things through hundreds or thousands of iterations to find the specific style that I'm looking for. And then after that, I'll take that base work and I pull it into a tool like I'll either use Procreate on my iPad, or if I'm on my laptop, I'll just use something like Pixlr. And I use hue and saturation brushes and shadow brushes to really draw your eye around the piece. So like that's how I create those like big bursts of neon
Yeah,
colors.
yeah, yeah.
I'll just take like these big fat hue and saturation brushes, and it's kind of like if you've ever seen the like 1988 Batman. I'm just like throwing paint at a canvas essentially. Um, all that color lives within the art. It's just about like pulling it out. And for me, it's just this process of figuring out how I want the eye to draw around the piece. Eyes are really important in any form of art because like human beings we naturally gravitate towards eyes. Um,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
so I really try to pull out a lot of colors and bring the focus on the eye, and then basically wrap your eye around the piece by bringing out shadow and darkness and huge levels of contrast. And yeah, so basically it's an over iteration process in Dolly 2, and I think it's that digital painting process that really makes my artwork kind of stick out, and it makes me feel like no one can do exactly what I'm doing because my workflow is so weird, and that's something I always try to lean into.
Fudge. Keep on being weird, man, because we're seeing it, out on socials, whether it's your Discord or your Twitter, man. You've gathered up lots of traction, and your community is already there, man, preaching for you and preaching the good words of Aliens. What's been the easiest part for you down the journey? I know you got a lot of hardcores already in your communities.
Yeah.
And that's part of it, and that's fine, and that's the perfect spot for you in my opinion. What's been the easiest part for you in all this age bar journey, if I can say it that way?
So for me, I think I try to be really genuine with people. So I find it's easiest to be yourself. I've really locked into that in the last couple of years of my life. It took me a long time to kind of feel like that, just not only as a person, but as an artist. And I think that's something that people gravitate towards. So that part's always been, believe it or not, over the last couple of years. Again, it took me a long time to kind of accept my artistry and accept my mental health and accept all those different kind of things about myself. And now I feel like that's honestly kind of the easy part for me. It's like getting on Twitter Spaces, putting my art out there for the world. It used to be the hardest thing in the world for me. And then for whatever reason, I think it's through this visual art process, things just really started to click. And I don't feel any kind of like fear or insecurity to share my art with people. And, I've had a lot of people say like AI is not real art and blah, blah, blah. And I've just reached a place where I'm like, that's your opinion.
Yeah.
I love AI art. It's something I'm really, really into. I do it every single day for a couple hours a day. And I think what you see then is just that incremental progress of my art style. And so nothing's easy in this space. This space as a creator is a grind, but those are things that I think I do well. And for me, it just kind of comes naturally. It's just to be myself with people. And I think that's a big part of what's, gotten me to where I'm at in the NFT space right now.
Yeah, because people want what's real, right? They want concrete, even though the very best example is right now what we're doing. It's fun to write, and it's fun even to text or whatever out on Discord or socials, but they want what's real. And especially after the last 2 years we've had, I think people get that, and they want what's real. And the same thing for me for mints and drops or whatever. Very often, like 99.9% of the time, I only do one take, because if I F up, if something happens, whatever, well, that's at least that's what it is. It's part of my, the artistry, if you can call it that way again.
Oh, it's absolutely artistry. Video creation, just being a creator in general, it takes all of our artistic skills and all of our experiences in life. And I don't know, it's a lot of people aren't comfortable getting up on camera and talking. And we need people like you, and we need artists, and we need collectors, and we just need people who are willing to be genuine people and share how amazing how amazing HBAR is. It's a community unlike any other crypto community
insane,
I've ever
right?
been in. Yeah.
It's truly insane. Welcoming people and just genuinely just helping each other out. I've never seen anything like it, especially with grown-ups, right? Because sometimes adults, especially when you have profits, when you throw in profits in there, when you throw in money, often the people tend to, push or even pull the curtains, right? They want all the sauce for them. But right now, it seems like we're in a special spot where we're so early at the core of that this core right now that we're having, we don't notice it because we're so zoomed in. This is the core, right? This is such an infantile still phase for HBAR. Everybody's helping each other, man, because we know the ecosystem is so dope. It's flourishing right now, and thank the Lord, we have amazing creators like you coming around, and that's a blessing. It truly is. And at the same time, I benefit from it because, man, I can interview amazing individual like you, and at the same time, I'm a vessel, and we can talk. That's that to me, that's genuine, and
I couldn't agree with you more. Yeah, it's all about creating connections with people, and I feel really blessed to be here this early and to have kind of made that jump when I did. And you can feel it. It's like a wave that's coming, man. You can see it on Twitter. You can see it in Discord. People just asking questions. You see a lot of Solana artists and other artists seeing the success that people are having coming over here. And I just feel really fortunate that I kind of got in early on the wave, and I'm just going to keep riding it, man. I have no intentions of leaving the NFT space ever. And I have really big goals for myself as an artist.
One of the goals was maybe joining the Header Sentient Launchpad. I know you've been out there. Shout out to Sentient, another absolutely goat with his Launchpad. What he did is absolutely amazing. Is there any project that coming in other than Sentient, of course, that you came in and you were like, wow, this is not something that you would aspire to, but you would be like, okay, wow, this is the core branding is strong, or artistically speaking, or just spoke to you?
So there's a project that I'm super impressed with, and they just sold out. It's the Woke Femmes through NFT or NFTers, and Cancer Codes is like the main coder behind it. What I really love about the project is, first of all, I like the art. It's all women in the collection, so it's 500 different pieces, really beautiful pieces of art in my opinion. But there's a really amazing utility that are tied to those. So basically you can use different bots that Cantor has created. So like, for example, I can take those NFTs and I can basically go into the NFTers platform and use that as bots for my Discord. So I set up like a Discord sales bot and a Discord listing bot and a floor bot, and that's all tied into the utility of the project. So I've never seen anything like that. I love projects that push my own ideas around what NFT art can do. So that's a project that I'm pretty active in, and I just really, it's that combo of cool art with like real utility for artists and creators. And I think that's why you see it sell out for that project. There really is a piece where it's got to be art plus some form of utility for people. And I've been trying to wrap my mind around that for a year. And I think I'm finally starting to understand what it is that art collectors are looking for in addition to just cool art. So yeah, that's definitely one. Check out Woke Femmes. They're cool.
Shout out to Woke Femmes, amazing project and community too. I discovered that maybe 2 months ago. I was late on that, but still, art speaks directly, right? It speaks to your soul directly. It's really great. Because down the road, it's strip down the art and what do you have, what do you get, and pass the JPEG. And I'm sure you'll come up with something great, but at the same time, you're so present inside your community. Every single time I go in the Discord, you're there. That people understand that, then they understand the value of you taking the time to find your own way. If you bring utility down the road, or whatever it is, if it's XYZ that you're bringing, people tend to be patient with people who are, again, genuine, taking the time and are present, right? So you'll find your way 100%, I'm sure of it.
Oh yeah, I actually have some pretty exciting utility to announce for Samurai Z. I'll drop it on you whenever we're ready to talk about it. So I think it's some pretty cool utility. And there's another one to look out for too. That's a surprise that you might not know about. Is Hedera Senti and I are actually putting out a collab art project in about a week. It's going to be prior to the Samurai Z launch. And we did like a Uno reverse card kind of thing where it's a 50 pieces total. And I did 25 pieces inspired by the Sentient collection. So I made apes, I made cyborgs, I made all these kind of different things inspired by his universe. And then he made 25 pieces inspired by the Aliens universe, and kind of in these bright neons. And it's really, really cool project. And it was really fun to create art in someone else's style. And obviously it still looks like it's mine and it still looks like it is, but it's this exploration of each other's worlds. And it was so fun. Like I had such a blast doing it. And yeah, so that one's coming out soon. And that'll actually be, we're gonna do a relatively big portion of the mint, and the long-term royalties will be added to the Hedera Sentient Treasury. So there'll be some rev share in there, which is a new announcement for you guys. And I'm really excited about that. And that's basically going to precede that Samurai Z launch. And I'm really excited about what it's going to do for the visibility of my launch that's coming on Hedera Sentient on November 19th.
For the Samurais, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so it's Samurai Z. It's 300 pieces total, and it basically explores the history of samurai and some of the history of Japanese folklore. So there are 100 different what I call the Samurai Z. They're based on Ronin and Shinobi samurai. We have stuff like Kuchisaka Onna, which are like these ghosts that basically were married to samurai in a previous life. There are Naga, there are Onis, who are like demons. There are Kitsunes, which are these like magical foxes. And they all have different utilities that are going to be tied to them. So like they'll have classes and traits, and some of the different ones. So basically like the faction will be Samurai Z, but within that they'll have different classes. So it might be like a shinobi, and the shinobi will have a specific utility tied to it. So some will be future airdrop, some will be rev share. We're going to start the Alienz Treasury, which I'm super excited about. So 25% of all mints and 25% of all royalties for the rest of time will be put into an Alienz Treasury. And that's the big utility drop. We're doing rev share. We're doing future mint percent discounts. That's what I was excited to announce to you guys is the people who mint in on this project are going to get that first treasury pool is going to be pretty big. So those rev share pieces will be kind of like randomly rolled throughout the collection. It was really fun. It's a huge progression in my art. Like I'm happy with the Gen 1 stuff, but this Gen 2 stuff is the best art that I've ever made in my life. And I cannot wait for people to see it because I've poured my heart and soul into this collection.
It shows. I've seen the preview. I've seen the preview.
I'm saving my best stuff, man. You never reveal your best stuff.
Man,
just give a little teaser. Teaser every now and then. Yeah.
Oh man, wow. That's
I'm excited, man.
This, man.
It's gonna be big. It's gonna be a big collection, and it's like anything that you do when you create. Like when you really have something. And, this is the best work that I've ever done in any art form, and I'm just really excited for the world to see what it looks like.
That's powerful. That's a powerful feeling, right? When you have a gem and you just want to unleash it, and then you just unleash like your baby, whatnot. Yeah, that's strong.
Yeah,
that's really strong.
We all have this art that we want to put out in the world as people, and when you can express yourself in a way that's genuine and it comes out the way that you pictured it, it's the best feeling an artist could ever have.
I agree 100%. I'm so happy that that you find your way, man. That's thrilling, man. You're hyped as fuck. You got me hyped now.
Oh, dude, I'm so hyped about it.
It's not even like 8. I'm about to go ham on something. I don't know.
There you go.
Well, hey, thank you so much. Thank you for taking the time. Anything else you want to tackle for us before leaving?
More than anything else, I just want to shout out the entire HPAR community. I want to shout out my holders, who are just the most amazing people. I have community members that truly love my art, and it's the best feeling in the world. It's like, it's one thing to be an artist and be proud of your own art. It's another thing when it truly resonates with other people. And it's what I work for every day. Being a creator in this space is hard work. It's a grind, and it's like, I want people to know how hard I work for this and how hard I work for my holders. And, I made custom art for people who bought 5 mints in the Gen 1 collection.
It's fire.
Oh, thank you, dude. It was a lot of fun to make. And there's this amazing thing that happens when you create something else that someone really wants because they truly love it. And, I made a piece that was like a tabletop game that one of my holders plays with his son, and he's going to have it printed and he's going to hang it in his son's room. And for me, I've been on this artist high about this for like a week and a half. It's just like that it connects with him in such a deep level that he's going to put it in his kid's room. So like I have 2 kids, I have 2 daughters. And I just want to shout out to the collectors and to the HBAR community that see my artistry. And I've gotten support here from day one. I feel really blessed. And that's the number one thing I want people to walk away with is I do this for the art, and the more that I can give back to people, the happier it makes me as an artist. So thank you, Phil, for taking the time to meet with me today and talk a little bit more about my project. And I'm just so excited for the world to see Samurai Z. It's coming out on November 19th on Sentient Launchpad. Any Gen 1 alien is a 1-to-1 whitelist. So like if you have 10 aliens, you can whitelist mint 10 different Samurai Z. It'll be like a pre-launch, and then basically what's going to come after that is the public launch, maybe 2 or 3 hours later. And you are in the MIB, so these are people who originally minted a Gen 1, and you guys will all get a free mint into Samurai Z, which I'm really excited to give back to you guys. And there'll be a token dropping on you guys for that in about a week, and you'll be able to use that token to free mint into Samurai Z, which I'm really excited for you guys, because like you guys are what made this all possible. It's been a dream come true for me, and I'm not stopping until I get where I want.
What more to be said, man? I'm just I'm just genuinely happy for you, man. And I'll be there on November 19th, that's for sure. And you got to be there too. Thanks again just for taking the time. This is my candy for me, talking to not only artists but just human beings like you. That's my candy. Morning, night, whatever. That's why I do it for, and that's who I do it for. Thank you, man. You're passionate. It bursts to the screen. Best of success leading on to November 19th. Thank you so much for taking the time.
Thank you, Phil. I appreciate you, man.
Thank you.
Yep.
Thank you so much.
Appreciate you, brother. Have a great day, okay?
Take care. You too, man.
All right. See you, man.